Police have cited tens of thousands of people for breaking the rules, but we discovered when the drivers go to court, they're often let off the hook. Inside Lynn District Court, the scales of justice appear unbalanced, tilting in favor of the people accused of breaking the law.
Come off your recommendation?
We do, Your Honor. We recommend the count 1 be dismissed on payment of $200 court costs.
In case after case,
how much time do you need? How much time you need to pay the $200? How much time you need?
Where people are cited for driving without a license, the outcome is the same.
At this time, the District Attorney's Office is recommending to dismiss your unlicensed operation charge if you pay $200.
Again and again, the accused agree to pay the court costs, and the case is thrown out.
Sir, at this time, the District Attorney's Office is recommending to dismiss your criminal matter if you pay $200.
Caught driving with a suspended registration? That's no problem either.
The Commonwealth would move to dismiss count 1 on $200 court costs.
I'll pay that today.
Okay, pay the $200, matter be dismissed.
Case closed, just like that.
Thank you.
We discover what happened in Lynn District Court is happening in courts all across Massachusetts. It's all detailed right here in the state's own records, which we obtain. They reveal what happens with traffic citations after police write them. We crunch the numbers, and it's good news for drivers who have broken the rules. The report is from the state's Motor Vehicle Insurance Merit Rating Board, an obscure part of Governor Deval Patrick's Office of Public Safety. According to the records from 2006 to 2008, police cited more than 87,000 people for driving without a license. Only 16% of those cases resulted in guilty findings. And there's more. 29,000 people cited for driving to endanger, 19% guilty. 4,000 people cited for operating recklessly, 23% guilty. Even speeders have a good shot in court. 794,000 tickets, 67% found responsible. As a police officer, do these numbers bother you?
Yes, they do. You have to wonder sometimes why put the effort into it if these conviction rates are going to be so low.
How you doing? License registration, please.
Saugus Police Officer James Scott is frustrated.
They're getting away with it with minimal court costs or no court costs.
Frustrated because Officer Scott says his work out here on the roads, enforcing traffic laws, is undermined by the courts.
I've seen records where people have been cited for operating suspended 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, and you just consistently see dismissed. It's just being circumvented by the court. Where's the teeth?
What does it say to people who are committing these offenses?
That the courts are not serious.
We don't want to see a situation where police officers throw their hands up and say, what is the sense of me giving a citation when it's simply going to be thrown out by the court?
Thomas Nolan is a former Boston police lieutenant who is now a criminal justice professor at Boston University. Are you surprised by these numbers?
I was very surprised by those numbers, and I think people who work in the law enforcement community would be very surprised and even shocked by these numbers. The entire traffic enforcement effort is being undermined by finding so many thousands of these motorists not responsible for the violations that the police have found them committing.
But the state trial court tells us the numbers are misleading, insisting that just because cases don't result in guilty findings doesn't mean people are getting away with anything. A spokesperson tells us the Merit Rating Board statistics count only convictions and do not include the cases where the court imposed a monetary assessment as the result of a negotiated resolution between the defendant and the prosecutor, which was accepted by the court. The spokesperson also points out that some cases are continued without a finding, where the person admits to sufficient facts, but the case is ultimately dismissed if the person stays out of trouble. Professor Nolan says we're all impacted by what's happening in the state's courts. Are the roads less safe because all these cases are being thrown out?
I think most would agree that in metropolitan Boston that we do have a somewhat tangible level of lawlessness on the roadways that certainly in no way is being addressed by having police citations for automobile law violations upheld and supported and endorsed and validated by the district courts.
Lynn District Court is in Essex County, so we contacted the district attorney's office about what we witnessed in court. A spokesperson says the maximum penalty for the first offense of driving without a license is a $1,000 fine and that judges are unlikely to impose that. So to best utilize our and the court's limited resources, it is not unusual that we recommend dismissal on payment of costs so that we can focus our attention and resources on more serious matters that threaten public safety. Now, you can take a closer look at all the traffic citation statistics, including ones we did not mention in this report. Go to our website, myfoxboston.com. Maria, Mark?
All right, Mike, so what is the Patrick administration having to say about all of this?
Well, we contacted the Executive Office of Public Safety and Security, which turned down our request for an interview. A spokesperson told us the numbers speak for themselves, but noted that just because a driver isn't found guilty or found responsible doesn't mean there aren't consequences like paying court costs. But the bottom line is the same. Only a guilty or a responsible finding affects a person's driver's license or insurance status. So these stats really are good news for drivers who don't behave on the road.